Hey guys, it's your boy Musha here. So it's gonna be my first video in a series of videos covering fighters. And Chaos Reigns just came out this week, and everybody's talking about Noob Saibot because, bro, look at the swagger. So anyway, I wanted to go over some more advanced stuff in this video. There's a bunch of beginner guides out. I'll be making my own soon, but for right now, I feel like this would be more useful. So I want to cover combo optimization with Noob. And I also want to cover his setups, because I don't think that people are using Noob the right way. And I found some tech that I think this is kind of what the developers intended, especially with this move. And it's all centered around that, the ghost ball. So a lot of times when you see people try to use it, they'll just throw it out in neutral. And that's cool, but it's just as bad as Sub-Zero's ice ball. It's like marginally better. And they'll be ducking it a lot, so it's just wasted time. You're better off throwing one of these out. Or one of these. So, but you can actually land Ghost Ball at the end of every combo, and that does just as much damage, if not like just maybe barely less, than his optimal cash out combos with other cameos and stuff. And the only cameo that I'm going to be focusing on is Janet. And I know there's a lot of people using Novato. You know, I've seen this a lot where people will go, and I think it's the other way. Well, people will go and they'll use... I was so wrong. People will go and they'll use Movado because a lot of the strings knock back. So they'll do stuff like this. Right? And like, that's cool. But that's like 33 for 2 cameos. And even with his throw, you really don't get much. Like that's like 14%. Like, that's not a whole lot. And maybe you can get a Ghost Ball setup from that if you throw him. Oh, that was actually bad timing. There we go. You could probably do this. That's marginally more damage than his regular throw, which is 11%. But I don't think that's where it is. I think where it's at is using him with... I'm going the wrong way again. Using him with Janet. So the rest of this video is going to be explaining why. So with Janet, off of any string... Let's say the one that we did earlier, right? So earlier I did this. I think I did this one. Right? So with Janet, you can still convert there. Right? You can still do that. But you can end in a Ghost Ball. And that's actually not the optimal route. So I'm going to show you that now. So with Janet, you can do, for example, that same string. So that was 2 cameo, same exact start, same string, same everything. And I got 36%, which was 3% more than the Movado route, but they also have the Ghost Ball setup on them. So you can do that off of any button. You can do it off of forward 1-2, you can do it off of 2-1-2, you can do it off of 1-2-1, you can do it off of back 3-3. I mean, literally anything. This. From there you can teleport. 36%. So, and it's always going to do about 35 to 37%. So off of forward 1-2. And that's basically the route. You always end it in the Ghost Ball after 2 Janet juggles. So it does use 2 cameo. You don't have to use 2 cameo. For example, this one. My bad. You can use 1 cameo, get 30%. That's still really good, because if any moment they move, they fuck up. And you're doing it right back into the Ghost Ball. So that is really, really good. Really, really good. So that's gonna be basically the focus of this. So any of your strings you want to do into that. So as far as optimization goes, you can actually throw a tackle into a lot of the different buttons that you would normally do. So if you do his fastest punish, stand 2, if you do 2-1-2, the tackle is just the right distance where you can get in 1-2-1 right after. So you can do this. you can do that, right? And that's pretty good up on its own. I mean, that's the most you're going to get meterlessly. That's 24. So, and from a realistic punish from that, I mean, you can do stuff like this, maybe, you know, but that's neither here nor there. So that's pretty nice. You can get 24 meterlessly, and then if you do want to spend Cameo, you can get an easy 30 into a setup there. And again, if you want to extend it for 2 Cameo, oh, dropped it. Bear with me, guys. Only spent like a day with this guy. That's 37. That's 37, man. I mean, I'm not even spending a bar. And Janet comes back pretty quick, so that's really good. And it does leave them full screen, so you can throw your slides, you can throw your portals, you know, all that stuff, right? And then if they get frustrated because you're doing that a lot and all that, you can just detonate them and then just go for your damage there, you know? So that's basically the idea with the setup. The other thing as far as optimization goes is you don't, and actually, you know, for the sake of argument, let me show you without the setup. You don't even get 0.5% more. Well, you get exactly 0.5% more, actually. That's nothing. So you're better off having them with the ghost ball setup and losing like 0.5%. So that's basically the idea with the setup. As far as optimization goes, you don't generally want to use Janet in the middle of a string. Like the example that I did earlier was this. Messed up. Oof. Kind of hard to pick that up. Yeah, let's maybe this might be a better example. Yeah, let's do that. That same thing only gives me 32 versus just going for the teleport right away. That gives me 35. That's 3% more. It's still 2 Cameo. The only reason that I would ever use the Cameo mid-string like that, or maybe from here, is for the option to hit confirm. Because if maybe you do this, and they're not expecting the 3rd hit, they can get caught with that stagger. Especially if you do this a lot, you go for this, maybe do the overhead. Then when you do let the 3rd hit rock, you'll get a hit out of it. So that's the only time that I would do that, but 9 out of 10 times, just go straight for your teleport off any hit confirm. With the exception of when you can extend it with the tackle. And that's actually the next thing. So this tackle, you can do it off of multiple strings. So you can do it off of your forward 1-2, you can do it off of 2-1-2, and you can do it off of 1-2-1. So the difference in damage... Oh shoot. It's always going to be about 2% difference. So that's always going to be about 2% less than if you do the tackle. The tackle is a bit tight of a window, but honestly, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. You decide if it's worth it to you. I mean, if you just want to not risk it, not drop it, I totally get it. Just cash out, go with the 2% less, and just get your guaranteed setup. But if you think you want to try it out, the timing is not that bad. You can do that. And that's going to be about 2% more. So off of 2-1-2, now I'm going to explain which buttons to do to get the tackle. So off of 2-1-2, you can do 1-2 up. You can do 1-2-1 into the teleport. Off of 1-2-1, you could do 2-1 into the teleport. That does link, and you can do your Janet combo from there. Off of forward 1-2, you do 1-2, forward 1-2. You can do 1-2-1. Can do that. So those are the only 3 so far that I've found that you can do every time. It's worth practicing getting the hang of it, because those 2% they add up in my opinion. So I would definitely go for that. The other thing I want to cover is that you can get a setup off of his throw combo. So that's 21% into Ghost Ball. That's really, really good. So that's another thing that, you know, Mavado doesn't offer him that much damage, and Scorpion, which is another popular cameo, he doesn't offer him a throw combo. So you have 3 things, right? You have combo extensions, you know, so damage essentially. You have setups with the Ghost Ball, and then you have throw combos. So Scorpion offers setups, and he offers damage, combo extensions, right? So Scorpion can do the same thing, that same take up. But what Scorpion can't do is he can't do a throw combo. And with Mavado, it's kind of the other way around. Mavado offers a throw combo, and he offers extensions, right? So Mavado can do this too. But he doesn't really offer you a chance to do a setup. So given that, I definitely would, that's why, I mean, Janet gives you all 3. So I would definitely recommend her. I think she is 200% his best cameo. Just like Ermac with Janet, it's the same thing. Like, Janet is to Noob what Chameleon is to Sub, to put it like bluntly. So that being said, there is another option that you can go for off of any combo. If you want to stem bar, right? Whoops. Let's go for the 1 cameo setup, actually, keep it simple. You can go for this. You can slide in. Go for another one. That was 42% off of a setup. If you have 2 cameo available, you get even more for it. And remember, you can do that anytime that you're going to do Ghost Ball, you can instead do that instead. And there's a couple things you can do from there. I mean, you just got to kind of be creative. You're always going to be more or less at this distance when you get it. So you can like jump in with a dive kick, do this, right? Continue the combo, things like that. And as far as optimization goes with this, you could do that. You could do the slide. Whoops, my bad. Oh, I totally forgot to teleport. Oh wow, sometimes it doesn't autocorrect. Oh wow. So that's 47% into the same setup. So that's extremely good. That's half their health. And if they try to move or jump or do anything, then you hit them again. You do another combo. So that's the power of Janet Cage and this setup. So I really think that's extremely good. Just can't recommend it enough. I can't really recommend any of the other 2 when you have this going for it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of something to keep in mind. This is the tech with Janet. It's pretty cool. Another thing that you can do too with Janet is like you can bring up the wall and start zoning them, since his projectiles tend to be kind of slow. And if you land a hit, then you know it's combo city, right? So you can do that, and you can also, when you do this, if they're scared, you can actually force them into the grab to force them into the ghost ball. Because most of the time, what your opponent's going to end up doing is they're going to end up, whoops, my bad. They're going to end up doing this. Like anytime you hit them with all this damage and all that, they're gonna be scared. Because a lot of the times, what'll happen is you'll get them with a full combo, and they'll wake up. Sometimes they're not expecting, because you might be wondering where to go from there, right? Let's see. You do this, you'll catch them with this. And you can set them up again with it, right? So you can do that, and they're once again set up with the same thing. They're once again full screen, and then you can just do this, and it's pretty, yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. So that'll happen. Then after that, they might wake up and try to armor, or they might try to do something. So for example, like Johnny, if he gets up and he tries to do a shadow kick, look what happens. Whoops. Wow. There we go. You do the close portal. Do it into stuff again. See? So that's pretty insane. I mean, it's extremely good. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea with Ghost Ball. You can do that, and then there it's a mind game. So if they wake up, you can try to do this. If you think they're going to stay still. If you think they're going to try to rush you, you can try to do that. That also works with Reptile. Sometimes Reptile, like, they'll do their slide to try to get some distance on you. To close the distance, actually, and then it'll catch Reptile also. I actually have a clip that I'm going to be uploading where I'm fighting a Reptile player. He's a really good player, but he got caught with that, and you can see just how powerful the setup is. And the last thing that I want to cover is when you do have them, I'm going to actually set it so that we don't have to do it. So when you do have them with the Ghost Ball active, you're better off doing the Ghost Ball sooner than later. Look at the difference in damage. Like if I do that, it didn't do, I probably did it too quick for you guys to see the numbers. So that was 38, right? And I didn't do the setup after. If I wanted to, I'd have to do this. Into itself. That does link, and it does about 38 also. So, but if I do it in the very beginning, whoops. Ooh, I messed up there. So look at the difference in damage. That did 40. So, and that was into the setup. So I mean, you're gonna get more damage when you do the Ghost Ball in the beginning of a combo as opposed to in the end. So if you have this on them, just turn your hit confirms instead of doing telly. Turn your hit confirms into Ghost Ball. You can do that, see? So that's pretty good. It works off of any hit. If you do this, same story. So that works off any touch. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much, I think, let me see, did I miss anything? No, I think that's it. So that's what I want to go over. This has been setups with Noob Saibot, with the Ghost Ball setup and optimizing your combos. So to kind of recap, you want to try to end all your combos in the Ghost Ball. And when you get in the Ghost Ball, eventually, if you keep zoning them, like once you do the setups that I showed you earlier, and you know they're frustrated, they have the Ghost Ball on them, you just finish comboing them with this, then eventually, you know, they're gonna start to get frustrated, and they might try to either dash up, or they might try to jump, or something, and if they do either of those, you get a full combo. See, so it's the same story. So that's going to happen all over again. And that's for anything they try to do. They try to like jump, it's the same story. You can do it in the air. The first time that you do the pop-up, you can do 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 4 into your Janet. And then every touch is going to do about 36 to like 35 to 37. Sometimes you'll get up in the 40s. I guess if I had to, maybe one last thing is that the meter, I don't think it's worth using meter with this character. Because when you do use bar, I mean, you get marginally better damage. Ooh, that would have linked. But yeah, so you end up getting like about 2% more. And it's just, honestly, 2% more for a bar. I'd rather just keep the bar for breaker, keep the bar for this setup, where you can really cash in on the damage, things like that. So, I mean, you decide if it's worth it to you, but generally that's what I would recommend. Just keep the bar for that. You know, does this, and actually I think it's, do that. Yeah, that would catch him after, so it's like 40, 41, as opposed to like 37 off of the same thing. So it's like 3, maybe 4% difference. Most of the time it's about 3. So you're better off keeping the bar for other things. I think the best time to use the bar is if you've used Janet and you just need to buy time for her to come back, you can do that. So in the situation, for example, like this, let me actually turn off the, I'm going to turn off the ghost ball, so you see what I mean. This is where you want to use Janet. Land a combo. Whoops. Wow. My bad. There, right? They do something. Ah, jeez. So if they do something and you don't have Janet, let's see if I can land the sequence to show you. Wow, I did it too early. I did it too early again. Jeez, it's not blinking now. Just say you land this. Like there I would spend bar. So if you spend bar there, let's just say you don't have Janet at all, like maybe I do this, I do it again, I can go like, shoot. Okay, let's try it again. So let me actually put myself full screen. So if I don't have Janet, actually, was that it? I'm trying to remember now. Oh, you have to have the ghost ball. Okay. So, my bad, guys. Bear with me. So, let's say I have the ghost ball active after the first combo. Usually, by then, Janet is back. So, if I do this. Oof. Get Janet. Janet. Ah, jeez. Normally, after you've done the combo, when you factor in the time that it takes for them to get up and stuff, Janet is actually back by then. So that's usually like that's your sign to go. Okay, cool. That's when I'm gonna go ahead and burn bar. That's kind of the idea. See if I can show you one more time. Ah, right there. So you can see how she was almost full. Right there, you'd actually get her in time for the teleport to be able to put it again. There you go, you see it there. So you end up getting her just in time if you burn bar there. So that's the only time I would burn bar. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Let me know, since I'm starting the series. I'm doing Noob Saibot. I'm going to do beginner guide sometime later. I'll also be uploading some matches where you can see me using this tech. If you guys have any questions or any ideas for anything you want me to cover, or characters and stuff like that, I have a few in mind already, but I mean, I always welcome feedback. And it's been real, guys, so enjoy. I hope this has been helpful. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.